Welcome back with a new math tutorial. In this video we are talking about adding integer numbers. Again, what is the meaning of the integer numbers? The integer numbers are the set of numbers that contain positive and negative numbers and zero. Zero is neither positive nor negative. Anything related to the increase, it will be positive value. Anything related to the decrease, it will be negative value. When we have here zero, zero doesn't change anything by increase or decrease. So zero is neither positive nor negative. Now how we can add the two numbers? If you need to add any two numbers, add the first number 1, look at the sign. Look at the sign of the greatest number. So number 1, we need to write the sign of the greatest number. Number 2, if the two numbers have the same sign, we will add them. But if the two numbers with different sign, we will subtract them. Before we start, we will talk about the opposite numbers. What is the meaning of the opposite numbers? Opposite numbers, two numbers lies on two different sides with the same distance of 0. Like 2 and negative 2, 3 and negative 3, 4 and negative 4. 4 lies at the right, and negative 4 lies at the left. The distance from 0 to 4 is 4 units, and the distance from 0 to negative 4 also is 4 units. So they have the same distance, but for the positive value we are moving to the right, and for the negative value we are moving to the left. That is the difference between them. For any two opposite numbers, if you add them, you will find that the answer will be equal 0. So 2 plus negative 2 equals 0. 3 plus negative 3 equals 0. 4 plus negative 4 equals 0. So the sum of any two opposite numbers will be equal 0. So for question number 1, we need to find the value of negative 3 plus negative 2. How we can find the sum? Number 1, look at the sign. The sign of the greatest number. We have 3 and 2. 3 is negative number. 2 is also negative number. Now we have the two numbers are negative. So the greatest number is negative, so put the sign of the greatest number. In all cases, put the sign of the greatest number. 3 is greater than 2, so just look at 3 without the sign. 3 is greater than 2. 3 is negative, so the answer will be negative. Now look at the two numbers. The two numbers have the same sign, so we will add them. 3 and 2 equals 5. So you will find that negative 3 plus negative 2 equals negative 5. We can explain it with another way. One of the matches you are losing 3. After that you lose again 2. It means the total now you are losing 5. So that is the meaning of negative 3 plus negative 2. You lose 3, then again you lose 2. It means you are losing 5. So when you have here two numbers, number 1, look at the sign of the greatest number. Number 2, if the two numbers have the same sign, just we add them. If the two numbers with different sign, I will subtract. So for question number 4, we have here negative 10 plus negative 4. 10 now is negative. 4 is also negative. The two numbers have the same sign, and the sign of the greatest is negative. Because the two numbers have the same sign, I will add them. 10 and 4 will be equals 14. So the answer will be equals negative 14. Again for question number 7. 3 is negative. 2 is positive. Now the greatest number is 3. And the 3 is negative value, so just write the answer as negative. Now the two numbers with different sign. One of them is negative and the other is positive. With the two numbers with different sign, so we'll subtract them. 3 minus 2 equals 1. The greatest number minus the smallest number will be equals 1. 7 plus negative 7. If you look at the question, we have 7 and negative 7 are two opposite numbers. We said the sum of any two opposite numbers is equal to 0. Again for question number 2. Negative 26 plus negative 17. If you look at the two numbers, we have 26 is greater than 17. 26 is negative, so the answer will be negative. So number 1, write the sign of the greatest number. Now look at the two signs. You will find that the two numbers are negative. They have the same sign, so I will add them. 26 plus 17 equals 43. Negative 5 plus negative 7. The greatest number now is 7, and 7 is negative, so you will write the sign of 7. Now the first number is negative, and the second also is negative. The two numbers have the same sign, so I will add them. 5 and 7 equals 212. So number 1, write the sign of the greatest number. Number 2, if the two numbers have the same sign, we will add them. If the two numbers with different sign, I will subtract. So for question number 5, 14 and 16. 16 is greater than 14 and 16 is negative, so the answer now would be negative. 14 is negative, 16 is negative. The two numbers have the same sign, so we will add them. 14 plus 16 equals 230. 6 plus negative 7. We have 6 and 7. 7 now is greater than 6 and 7 is negative, so the answer will be negative. The first number is positive because there is no sign, and the second number is negative, so they have different sign. If they are different sign, I will subtract. If the two numbers have the same sign, I will add them. If the two numbers with different sign, I will subtract them. But number 1, put the sign of the greatest number, so it will be equals 1, because 7 minus 6 equals 1. Again for number 11. Negative 8 plus 3. Now we have 8 is greater than 3. The sign of 8 is negative, so just write negative. If you look at the two numbers, 8 is negative, 3 is positive, the two numbers with different sign, so we will subtract them. 8 minus 3 equals 5. So negative 8 plus 3 equals negative 5. In question number 28, we have negative 8 plus negative 4 plus 12. Now we have more than two numbers. So number 1, check if you have opposite numbers or not. If you have opposite numbers, just add them together because the answer will be equal 0. Once you didn't have any opposite numbers, just write all of the positive together and all of the negative together. You will find that we have negative 8 and negative 4. So the answer now will be, for them will be negative. Because they have the same sign, just we add them. So 8 and 4 equals to 12. So the sum of negative 4 and negative 8 equals to negative 12. Now just write plus 12 without any change. Negative 12 plus 12, they are opposite, so the answer now will be equal 0. Again for question number 29. 21 plus negative 21 plus negative 4. If you look at 21 and negative 21, they are opposite numbers. We said the sum of any two opposite number is equal to 0. 0 plus any number will be the same number, which is negative 4. So again, if you have more than two numbers, number 1, check if you have opposite numbers or not. If there is opposite numbers, I will add them, because the answer will be equal 0. If there is no opposite numbers, go to step number 2. For step number 2, just we need to write all of the positive together, all of the negative together, add all of the positive, and add all of the negative, then simplify them. We have here for question number 31. We have negative 34 plus 25 plus negative 25. If you look, you will find that we have 25 and negative 25. They are opposite numbers. Because we have opposite numbers, so I will start writing negative 34 plus 25 and negative 25 because they are opposite numbers, so the answer will be equal to 0. Any number plus 0 will be the same number, 34. Again for 34. We have here negative 16 plus 16 plus 22. You will find that we have negative 16 and a positive 16. If you add them, the answer will be equal 0 plus 22. 0 plus 22 equals 22. In question number 32. 15 plus 9 plus negative 9. You will find that we have 9 and negative 9, they are opposite numbers. So we just add them together. Just write 15 plus 9 and negative 9 equals 0. Any number plus 0 will be equal to the same number. 35. 25 plus 3 plus negative 25. You will find that we have 25 and negative 25. They are opposite numbers. So we just write 0 plus 3 will be equal to 3. In question number 30, you will find that negative 17 plus 20 plus negative 3. There is no opposite numbers. So we'll just add negative 17 and negative 3. We have two negative numbers, we will just add them together. Because we have two negative numbers, the answer now will be negative. 17 and 3 equals to 20. With the sign of the greatest number. If the two numbers have the same sign, just we add them. And we will add after that 20. You will find that the sum will be equals. We have two opposite numbers, the answer will be equal 0. Again for 33. Negative 4 plus 12 plus negative 9. You will find there is no opposite numbers. But we have two negative numbers, so we'll just add them together. Because we will add two negative numbers, the greatest number is negative, so the answer will be negative. 9 and 4. Because the two numbers have the same sign, I will add them. 4 plus 9 equals to 13. And after that, I will add 12. Negative 13 plus 12. We have here 13 is greater than 12 and 13 is negative, so the answer will be equal to negative. the two numbers with different signs, so I will subtract them. 13 minus 12 equals to 1. And that's how we can add the integer numbers. So the main idea for adding integer numbers, number 1, write the sign of the greatest number. Number 2, if the two numbers with the same sign, add them. If the two numbers with different sign, subtract them. Suppose that you have more than two numbers. Number 1, look at the opposite numbers. If there is opposite numbers, just add them, then add it to the third one. If there is no opposite numbers, add the positive numbers and the negative numbers, then simplify the question.